Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and the following question is asking us to compare the two passages here to try to figure out how new given information would affect the theories or somehow the thesis statements of both of these two passages. It turns out that the new sentence added is, suppose that energy fluxes were recorded on high-resolution X-ray film. Well, after reading the passage, you should have been able to identify here that the thesis statement of this first passage here is this part here. The existence of the corona contradicts standard thermodynamic principles, which state that the temperature should decrease with increasing distance from the star's core. So physicist 1 is concerned with proving that our general standard thermodynamic idea of how the solar corona works is actually incorrect. And physicist 2 is concerned with saying that the energy released by nanoflares in the corona is not sufficient to heat the corona. So they're arguing against each other's points of view. But the first piece of evidence that physicist 2 gives is that since these energy fluxes have never been recorded on a high-resolution X-ray movies, their energy release is not significant. This is the piece of evidence that physicist 2 gives. So if we say, suppose that energy fluxes are recorded on a high-resolution X-ray film, this contradicts precisely the evidence that physicist 2 is looking at in making his or her claim. So it would refute physicist 2 because the energy released from nanoflares would be significant. This is the answer choice. Let's consider the other ones just in case. So refute physicist 1 because electrical fluxes prevent spiraling magnetic fields from bulging. Well, electrical fluxes would increase the temperature of these magnetic fields. It doesn't really matter that whether or not they're prevented from bulging. What matters is that they're now significant enough that they can be recorded on X-ray on high-resolution X-ray film, so that we have evidence that, in fact, on the corona, events are going on that make it more hot than the center of the sun. It would support, or I guess, sorry, that than the surface of the sun. It would support physicist 1 because adjacent field lines reconnect and energy is released. This is not why. In fact, we have absolutely no evidence to suggest that this would be the case. It's just not mentioned in the passage, so that one doesn't make sense either. It would refute physicist 2 because instabilities within the magnetic field would reduce the current. Again, this isn't why. All that physicist 2 says about this is that because these energy fluxes haven't been recorded in X-ray movies, we know that their release is not significant. We're not talking about whether or not their magnetic field would reduce a current. That's not the point. So A is the correct answer. So I hope that helped with this video. Happy prepping.